Today has been a massive day for news because the NFL hosted their annual general meeting in Phoenix, Arizona, and the Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald spoke to reporters and he gave us some massive updates that have been the most revealing of what is going on behind the scenes for the Seahawks this offseason. He spoke on why certain players left in free agency, key injury updates, what is going on in the running back room, and that the Seahawks are nowhere near done yet. Much of the updates he gave us today reveal exactly where the Seahawks are heading, and we are going to be breaking that down all for you here today. What is up, everybody? Kyle Guerrero here, your host of Seahawks Digest, where we bring you everything Seattle Seahawks news-related, rumor-related, and report-related as it is happening in real time. And today was a big day in the NFL because they hosted their annual general meeting. And this is where coaches, general managers, owners, and whoever else is kind of in that conversation, they all congregate in one place, which was in Phoenix, Arizona today. And the point of today is just so everyone can get on the same page. They can discuss about certain rules. They can do media with reporters. They can answer questions. And it's just a day for everyone to get together. And there has been lots of updates that have come out from this AGM today, including sit-down interviews with our head coach, Mike Macdonald. And he gave us updates on lots of things going on with the team behind the scenes right now that maybe the mainstream media is not necessarily covering. So today we are going to be breaking down the top 9 Seahawks updates that Mike Macdonald himself gave us today at the AGM. And stick around to the very end because he did reveal some news about a key position that we are looking to add a veteran free agent. And if you are not already, please hit that subscribe button down below. We are just 78 subscribers away from hitting that number 1,000. So if you want to stay up to date with all the latest Seattle Seahawks content as it is happening in real time, hit that subscribe button and keep following along because we're going to be bringing you content all off season long. Now let's dive right in. First things first, Mike was asked about Riq Woolen and why we did not try to re-sign him or get a deal done for him here in Seattle. And Macdonald basically shut down speculation. He said we didn't let him go. We could not afford him. Obviously, Riq went to the Philadelphia Eagles on a one-year, $15 million deal, which is quite pricey. We did re-sign Josh Jobe, and he's only about $9 million average annual value per year. But this is a huge statement because it shows that we probably did do our due diligence to try to make a deal with Riq work, but he wanted to go chase as much money as he could possibly get. This also shows that the Seahawks are being very disciplined financially. This shows that we are extremely invested in what has been working for us. We don't overspend on big names or players. We really trust the system and the mindset that Mike Macdonald brings to it. More likely than not, we are going to be adding a CB at that pick number 32 or 64 in the draft. But we also could make a splash in free agency still, but we'll keep our eyes open for that. Next up, we got an update on one of our star rookies from last season who missed the latter half of the season and the playoffs with that shin injury, and that is Torrey Horton. Mike said he won't be ready for spring activities, but should be good for training camp. This is a little bit concerning because, in the offseason, this is when guys get better and they have that time to train and, get extra reps in with the quarterbacks, with the coaches, with whoever. Very sad to know that Torrey Horton won't be participating this spring, but getting him ready for training camp is a good sign. If you guys have been watching this channel for a little while, I'm very high on Torrey Horton. He had a great year for us before that injury, getting touchdowns, doing it all on special teams as well with some great punt and kick returns. We drafted Torrey Horton in the 5th round just a year ago, and he played 8 games for the Seahawks. He only had 13 receptions all year on 22 targets for 161 yards, but he had 5 touchdowns. So before we went and made that mid-season trade for Rashid Shaheed, Torrey Horton was kind of playing that role of being a dynamic special teamer, having good returns. So getting him back along with Rashid Shaheed is just going to bring unlimited explosiveness for this offense. John Schneider said as well today that it'll be really fun when both of those guys get going and are healthy and build that chemistry with Darnold. We got some updates as well on our veteran edge rusher, Demarcus Lawrence. There was some speculation just after the Super Bowl that he might retire. Him and his wife had just had a kid, and we know that D-Law was, considering hanging up the cleats, but Mike came out today and said, obviously it is D-Law's choice if he does want to hang up those cleats, but we fully expect him to be back. So 99% Demarcus Lawrence is coming back for another season as the Seahawks try to go back to back. And he is just such a great locker room presence, such a great veteran, and he hustles. There is plays where he has no business in making the tackles or he falls down and he gets right back up and makes them. So very huge to get him back because he is a big part of who our identity on defense is. A little bit of a fun moment was had here today. On the way out of the coach's breakfast, Sean McVay playfully walks over to Mike Macdonald's table, packed with reporters, and kiddingly shouts, "Hey, what do you think of the 2-point play?" Obviously going back to that Week 16 game where Charbonnet, I don't even know how to describe the play. The ball was passed backwards and batted down, and everyone thought the play was dead, and Charbonnet picked it up, and it tied the game. The Seahawks went on to win that, went on to win the division, went on to win the Super Bowl, and if that play may have gone the other way in the Rams' favor, maybe it could have been them having all this success that the Seahawks are having. And, the Rams have been, talking to the NFL a lot about that rule change. So a little bit of a friendly jab, but McVay is still not too happy about that. Mike was asked about how he felt about the Seahawks running back room now that Kenneth Walker obviously went and signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. Macdonald said he loves the current running back room, and that is Emmanuel Wilson, Zach Charbonnet, George Holani, and Kenny McIntosh. I think the Seahawks are one of the most highest volume of carries per game, and just Mike coming out and showing his confidence in this running back room right now kind of tells us that this is most likely the group that we are going to go into training camp with. Maybe we add a back in not free agency, in the draft, and kind of have a little competition then. He also gave us key updates on some of our injury running backs. Obviously, Kenny McIntosh coming off of that torn ACL in summer 2025. He is working hard through rehab and pushing to come back. Hopefully he gets back to form, because what Seattle is missing right now is an explosive running back like Kenneth Walker. So hopefully if Kenny McIntosh can come back, he can fill in that position. Macdonald also said Charbonnet is working hard with a possible return during the regular season. Obviously, Charbs was 1A, 1B with Kenneth Walker all season last year and went down with that unfortunate ACL injury in the divisional game against the 49ers, which was the last week of January. So hopefully we can get Charbs back by mid-season and be 100% healthy, ramping him up come playoff time so he's good in that second half of the season. But great to see updates from those guys that they are working to get back to form. Macdonald talked briefly about the coaching staff, specifically Clint Kubiak and Scotty Ginocchio. He said there's alignment, which is exactly what you want to hear from a new head coach. And he acknowledged Ginocchio was likely leaving no matter what. That's important. It means this wasn't dysfunction. It was expected. He also said Kubiak is set up to do really well, even if he moves on to the Las Vegas Raiders, which he has. Kubiak was so great for us all season, and he definitely has earned that job in Las Vegas. In Vegas, they spent a lot of money on free agents out there, and they also got Max Crosby back. So, we wish Clint the best. He was a great offensive coordinator for us this past season. A reporter asked Mike Macdonald, how are you going to defend? How does it feel defending the Super Bowl and knowing that everyone is coming for you this year? And Mike shot back very quickly in the Mike Macdonald way, and he said, we are not defending anything. And that just goes to show the Mike Macdonald defense that we are always competing. We are not going into next season thinking, oh, we're the Super Bowl champions, let's go back to back. No, we are going to go in there and we're going to try to win every single game, win every single down, win every single quarter, and we are going to be warriors, because that is what made the Seahawks so good last year. We were overlooked much of the season, and this team is built of guys with chips on their shoulder who have something to prove and want to win. So just love this that Mike came out and said we are not defending anything. And last but surely not least, Macdonald said the Seahawks could still add a veteran edge rusher this offseason. Obviously, we lost Boy Mafe, and we were looking to add more depth at that position. And we've been bringing guys in for draft interviews and having a look across free agency as well. There's also rumors of Myles Garrett being on the move. There was rumors that the Seahawks were interested in Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson and whoever else. But I think going and adding a veteran edge like a Demarcus Lawrence type of player who's later in their career, who is maybe not have won, who is going to be a full team guy and want to win, will just be a great addition for this team. And obviously we will get them a lot cheaper than the contract that Boy Mafe got with the Cincinnati Bengals. Taking a look at some of the veteran edge rushers that are still on the market and their market value, the names that stand out to me the most are Von Miller, who almost signed with the Seahawks last offseason, and Cameron Jordan, who's played all of his career in New Orleans. Both of those guys would be great additions, and they know what it takes to win. There's also Leonard Floyd and Joey Bosa there as well. So if we can get one of those guys on the cheaper end of one of those contracts, just to add some better leadership, and then we can add some depth pieces in the draft, some young guys that can learn from these vets and then step into that starting role probably by next year, would be great. That's going to do it for this episode of Seahawks Digest. If you are not subscribed yet, please hit that button. We're going to be bringing you plenty more updates this offseason. And until next time, go Hawks.